Hello guys, and welcome back to Rule the Waves 3 with our Austria Hungary playthrough. In the last episode we had gone over a little recap of what's happened so far in this playthrough, just getting out of our second, third, fourth, fifth, I don't know how many wars at this point. Most of them with Italy. We got away pretty well from that war, finally surpassing Italy financially. Not sure if we'll really keep this position, losing a good bit of our ships in that war. We've now consolidated everything into reserves, mothballing some stuff that I know I'm going to get rid of. This was repairing. I could knock that into mothball. We're going to get rid of all these pre-dreads. I'm already building my first two new battleships. Battleships I hope will last long, given that the advancement of... what's the word here? Just the battleship tech has slowed down a good bit. We have the Budapest battleship series with 16-inch guns, 10 cannons. We got 3 and 2, 3 and 2, like that. The secondaries aren't too much to be feared, but it has the most AA of any ship I've seen in the game so far. I'm hoping this can last a while, even if it is only 35,000 tons. Most nations can already do way better than that, but we are kind of behind there on size. So I thought I would just make something work with what tonnage we have. We can see the Brits are already starting to pump out 40,000 ton battleships. This is a bit small. It's a bit small, but that should also keep the price down and make having it last, I don't know, maybe more effective. They might even be possible to convert into battle cruisers later if we just go that far and replace their engines and speed it up. We can see the battle cruisers the Brits are fielding are bigger than our battleships. They have the speed. I'm planning to replace all of my remaining 3 battleships as well, but that has to come after I get probably 10 of these battleships out. Battleships that, by design, I'm hoping can last a while, and I hope to do the same thing with the battle cruisers, because we're at the point where we're gonna make, it's like 1925 now, like the final generation of battle cruisers, because it is World War II that wiped those fuckers out. We can go ahead and expand the airship bases that we put on roads. We are getting to the point where airships may become less and less useful, notably over time, but for recon and everything that they could do, they're still the most affordable option by a long shot. Just this one airbase I have is a little bit much. I hope to expand that sometime, but right now we have to just kind of go with what we have. Our submarine fleet is still building up. We had 10 more subs on order. Gonna keep them and all the one from 1921 as well. I think I can afford to put one more Budapest on construction here, so I will. It's one more Budapest. Will be negative monthly balance, but that's fine. We have enough balance to last until these submarines and things start finishing. It's my main priority right now is to get those battleships to the point where we have 10, throwing out all the pre-dreadnoughts and maybe getting rid of our old designs we have here, these old 5. They've not really aged very well at all. They were made near the beginning-ish of dreadnoughts with that kind of tech. We've always been behind on tech. Moving into the next turn, we commissioned 2 submarines. Don't know how we did that. Only one was like getting there. And Germany wants to sell me anti-aircraft artillery HA geared sight. That's a lot of money, but yeah, sure. Gonna be cheaper than researching it myself. So heavy air artillery. This will be more effective now. Good, because our new battleship coming out is gonna have a lot of that. It's going to have a lot, because we know air is just going to become more and more of a big deal, so we want to just be as prepared for it as is humanly possible. Honestly, to save on costs, I'm just going to go ahead and mothball all my other capital ships, because there's a pretty high chance they don't make it out of this construction spree. It's a pretty high chance, and we could use that extra money to build. Look at the maintenance right now versus what it would be if I activated everything. That's kind of terrifying, but we need to get these battleships pumping out. We get 5 of them out, immediately replace the pre-dreads. Those pre-dreads are like useless for us for how much they cost at this point. But we need to keep moving. You have more than half the fleet tonnage mothballed. It's an unacceptably low level of readiness. Fine. We'll put in reserve fleet just the actual battleships then. Are you happy, Kaiser? Are you happy? I guess the AI, yeah, that would explain why the AI has some tonnage, because they leave some stuff out of mothball, probably half of it. Italian battleship Vittorio Veneto, currently under construction. This is a new battleship of theirs. 1919 design. 14 6-inch guns on the side. 8 16. Oh, they have 16-inch guns on top of this bitch. Good thing I decided to go. I went with 16. Honestly, number one, it was the best that I had. And number two, because I don't know. I'm just fascinating over the Iowa a little bit. But good thing I did, because one of the newer designs for Italy, they're using 16-inch, but they have 8. They don't have that triple in the back there like I have. 20 light AA guns currently. Holy crap. 11-inch belt, slightly less armor, 28 knots. That's faster than my goes. They also have more tonnage to work with. They definitely must have cut on some things to get 28 knots, if that is a correct assessment. 8 4-inch guns. This has some upgradability to it. Yeah, this is what we're probably going to be fighting with this new battleship class that I have coming in. But even if it looks like it may be roughly just as good as ours, I bet they cut in some places that are going to give us an advantage. And 6 of our submarines have finished. Good, I've been burning through money. And now America wants to sell me 17-inch guns of quality 0. Damn, that's a lot. But I'll get it. I'll make us afford it somehow. New fighter prototypes ready for evaluation. We're 5 years ahead and we finally have better speed and ranges. Do you know how long this took to just get? This is the best firepower, but the maneuverability and toughness is the worst. It's the same firepower otherwise. You get better maneuverability, same toughness right here. This has the least speed of all the new ones, but still faster. And it has better ranges, notably. Yeah, alright, this seems like a good replacement. The Lloyd 68, finally a new fighter. I keep getting told about how my fucking bombers are bad. Oh, and speaking of, my new medium bombers came out, but it's somewhat underpowered compared to how it was supposed to be. Now, our money right now is not very good. Let's halt construction on 2 of these battleships to try to fix our funds, because they could definitely use some fixing. What's now the oldest thing that I have is going to be either the float plane scout or the torpedo bomber. Well, float plane scout doesn't really matter that much because we don't use them yet. Torpedo bombers, though, I can go ahead and request a new torpedo bomber. And for torpedo bombers, generally I prioritize toughness so that they can get in and do their job. And then usually speed just to get in and out of the area to begin with. I don't think you need a lot of maneuverability as a torpedo bomber. So toughness, speed. They go for firepower as well to defend themselves, but I'm just thinking toughness, speed. Get in, drop your bomb load, get out. That's kind of what I'm thinking right now. Let's go for that. The ranges, all in all, are still pretty pitiful on everything compared to what an airship can do. And considering airships can have bombs and parasite fighters, for now, we're still just going to be maintaining those airship bases. They're still our main squeeze. Oh shit, we can have quadruple turrets. God, what's an example of battleships that used quadruple turrets? Even in like World War II. Not the Iowa, right? The Iowa had like, 9 guns. I think it had 3 sets of triple turrets. Something like that. I don't even have the tech to properly make that yet. So funds are bad, but it's starting to look a bit better. Resume one of these battleships, and our monthly balance still pretty bad. We have a bunch of corvettes and a destroyer about to finish. All of my subs are done. And I think these have expanded nice and fine. Yep. All right. Well, there's not a lot for me to do most of these. The Marshall Islands, oil has been discovered. Well, that's good for them. As Austria, I never have to worry about oil because, well, I have oil in my home. 4 corvettes are commissioned into the Navy. France wants to sell us some armor tech. Sure. Why not? This is why I always try to keep at least a little bit of money just sitting around. We'll make up the difference there, no problem. And with all these things getting finished, I need to toss you guys into reserve fleet. Make sure everybody's good to go. There's nobody outside. There's nobody active service right now when we really don't need them. We just need to build. The final corvette we were building has been commissioned into the Navy. And let's see, a regional war imminent in the Balkans. We can either go for that budget and tension or less tension. I'll take less tension. I don't really need extra budget. Some things will be unavoidable for extra budget. Always want to kind of usually avoid that because of unrest. We went into that one war that one time. We had like 4 unrest at the very start. Went up to 6. It was very bad. And we've gotten fleet tactics. Shell dies. Reduced penalty for more than 1 ship firing at the same target. Okay. Well, that's, of course, going to be good, considering we usually fire in firing lines. Monthly balance looking much, much better now. A destroyer is about to finish. Let's resume construction here. That destroyer finishing should be what we need there. Put you on reserve fleet. We'll probably need to look at the corvettes and everything at some point as well. Right now we have, what's this here? These Baron Ashoffs. These are ASWs by the looks of it. They're getting outdated. They might need a little... Oh, wait, no. Yeah, we already have like an R1920, a refit. That was a while ago. I must have built these really late. Moving into the next month, that destroyer is done. A revolution in an African country left some of our nationals stranded. We have 60 prestige, which is a hell of a lot. I would like to get more prestige, but that is a lot of tension. That is a lot of tension. Go with normal budget and tension. Budget, a lot more tension, plus prestige, or minus prestige, minus tension. We don't have tension with most nations, and tension is going down everywhere due to that war. So I think I'll take the risk here. There you go. And yeah, that'll bump up tension quite considerably around the world. Our allies still love us. That's the most important thing. Tensions will still be kind of gradually going down. That little bit of extra budget is, of course, going to be a little helpful. All we have building now are these 3 battleships, and they are going to take a while. So now we're just going to amass some funds, probably. I will, at some point, end up refitting these to that 1920 setup that we have. The rest of these are not outdated yet, but I'm sure some will get outdated. In terms of minesweepers and everything else, I'm just kind of keeping them for their effectiveness for the corvettes. I don't see a need to do a full replacement because that's a lot of money. That's pretty expensive to do, especially for corvettes. So we're just kind of keeping the old while also making new. They'll die in some spirited gun battles, as the game calls it, with a submarine eventually. Industrial production is soaring as new methods and technology are introduced. Recent improvements mean in productivity has boosted our industrial production. That's more base resources. I'll take it gladly. Destroyers up to 2,000 ton displacement. Damn. Yeah, I knew that was roughly a good time to stop building the 1,500 tonners. Number one, because they didn't really have a lot of anti-air because they were kind of built before that. But I still think these destroyers could be upgradable. I still think they could be. I don't know for how long, but I still think they can be. We'll figure out how long. But yeah, eventually we'll want to make those two. Next time I go and start making a bunch of destroyers, we'll make those 2,000 tonners. Make sure they're ready for this era of air. This era. Ha 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 ha. More recent improvements in productivity are boosting our industrial production. That's really good. There's been an uprising in an African country. Oh boy. So either go with tension by sending a guy. There's going to be tension no matter what. It's just like, how much tension do I want? This can also come with some budget and some prestige. Ooh, I just took the prestige from the last one. If there's going to be tension no matter what, I think I'll just take the lowest amount of tension this time. Yeah, we don't want to boost up tensions that much. Got some damage control improvements. New torpedo bomber ready for evaluation. 4 years later, we have less speed. We have more range. It's funny because I didn't prioritize range. This one especially has amazing range right here. This has better firepower, better maneuverability, and way better toughness. Has torpedoes, better bomb loads generally, except for light bombs, I guess. It's always so confusing how that's cut off. I think this is definitely an improvement, even if the speed is worse. It's a torpedo bomber. So long as it's tough and able to survive, some firepower wouldn't hurt, I guess. I'll gladly replace that with the Mag 73. Torpedo bombers are one of the only planes we're actually using, so guess we need to make a new thing. The next oldest thing is going to be that float plane scout. I don't really use these yet, but upcoming designs might, so I might as well just keep up with it. It's not a lot of money to pay for these, so float plane scout. They clearly do some stuff with firepower, I've noticed. Well, the naval patrol aircraft do stuff with firepower because they sink enemy vessels and whatnot. So I'm not really like float plane scout. Maneuverability for survivability could be cool, but then also what, like speed to make sure you're scanning stuff as much as possible, or maybe maneuverability to survive enemies and then speed to get away. Stuff like that. I'm not really sure. They're just scouts, but they also kind of can function as like mini little fighters. Their main goal is recon. However, I think I'll go with maneuverability and speed. I don't know how they're really going to behave. You don't have that exact kind of control, but That's what I'll go with for new float plane scouts. They're going to come out probably very different. We have an increasing monthly balance. What does everything look like? So now our base resources, 25,869 to Italy, almost 25,000. Now, one thing to note is, events aside, the base resource growth, the more you have, the more it grows. So getting war reparations earlier in the game is, of course, a pretty big deal. We are playing Austria Hungary, so unfortunately things haven't gone very much according to plan. And we've had some white pieces, but I finally found something where I have more than everybody. And that is coastal batteries, barely. I have like a couple more than everybody else does. Well, would you look at that? Italy's navy's going up in tonnage already because they're finishing some battleships. They probably were just like halting construction of whichever ones they had already constructing. But they're still going, and they're still building that massive wave of submarines that they decided to make. Some nations are focusing subs way more than others, like Spain. Holy shit. Their surface fleet is very tiny and pitiful because of how many submarines they have. And then you also have Italy, who's focusing them quite a bit, which is very strange, I feel. They still need to rebuild their destroyer fleet, Italy. They lost so many of them that they want to actually keep having capital ships. And I've noticed certain nations like Japan seem to be making new armored cruisers. Maybe heavy cruisers? I'm not sure. These ones haven't been finished yet, but they seem like they're all the same design here. It's a heavy cruiser, it says, not an armored cruiser, going 31 knots at only a mere 13,000 tons. Damn, dude. I should check, when it comes down to battlecruiser time, I should check if I can make these. Because if I can make stuff like this kind of might defeat the need for the battlecruisers I was going to make, but their tech could also just be ahead of mine in some way. Regardless, we are still early enough in history to make one big final wave of battlecruisers. We'll look at it when we get to that point. We still have like 7 more battleships just to order. The Kaiser made a foreign policy gaffe. We can smooth things over. We could make statements against either Italy or Great Britain. We could make a bland statement and lose some prestige. Or I would never undercut the authority, and we get plus prestige 1 and just generally some tension. I don't want to make Great Britain hate me, and I certainly don't want Italy to like go to war with me sooner. So I'll just take the general tension, just spread it across. I think that's fine. I mean, I could also just point it at Italy because it's just like, well, who are we going to fight? Probably Italy. But this could be quite a lot. I also don't want more budget right now. I'll take prestige and some general tension. That's fine. That went into Italy and Great Britain. It just spread. It was a tiny bit spread between them anyhow. So why only them? Why nobody else? Why not the ally of Italy? Why Great Britain, of all things? I have no idea. We're starting to amass funds, though. I'm afraid to order another battleship still because it wouldn't be sustainable. So for now, we're just going to keep turning over the turns as often as possible. Thankfully, tension with Great Britain is getting reduced, so that's good. Italy is like, ugh. Of course we'll end up at war with them again eventually. But for right now, their fleet's smaller than ours, and hopefully we could just get a lot of rebuilding, building more done before anything like that starts. This design's already 3 years old. Holy shit, and I haven't even pumped out one thing using it yet. Well, I think we have enough of a stockpile of funds to order the 4th one. One more, and I have a full division ordered. Still a 3-year build time on these things, and goddamn do they cost a lot. This is just to replace the dreadnought still. That's fucking crazy. Well, for now, that's probably all we can afford to do right now. Private shipbuilding, expanding the max dock size. That's great because I can't afford to do it right now. France wants to extend our security arrangement. Yeah, sure, I'll keep... I'm learning that as a weak country in this game, alliances are so fucking important. So yeah, I'll keep France, I'll keep America, whoever will side with me. The more allies, the better. I honestly kind of still wish that I had taken Spain. As weak as they are, just their ships on top of mine would have been a great help against Italy. We can now have triple turrets on light cruisers. That sounds absolutely ridiculous. Tension with Italy is reducing dramatically, but also increasing because of Dalmatia. Japan's reducing. Well, so long as it's trending down. Look at the monthly balance. Holy shit. I didn't finish building anything. That's just the base resources going up. Yep, 26, 128. These guys still haven't really hit 25k yet, but they're getting there. During a coronation review, there was a collision between one of our ships and one from Germany. What's your comment? Either lose prestige or get tensions with Germany. I don't mind a little bit of tensions with Germany. I have 2 good allies anyway. It's fine. And our tensions with Germany are generally very low currently. I mean, tensions always just go up, 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 up. And right now the highest tensions are, what a surprise, between me and Italy. I really wish the AI would fight more often, but they don't. We're just going to keep making our battleships a captain above average. Damn. Of the RPAD. Oh, that ship that won't exist soon. Imposed harsh punishment for minor infractions on several occasions. He's hated by officers and crew alike, and fleet morale has suffered. If I say it's good, then they lose crew quality, and I get prestige. I can quietly tell him to ease up on punishments, which has a chance of fixing crew quality or of it being lowered. Or I can guarantee not have crew quality lowered, but we remove him and lose prestige. Well, I like prestige. Crew quality won't matter on that ship, so we'll just take the prestige. I'm fine with that. Weight savings on machinery. Early AA director on ships. That's neat. That will be interesting. Oh, look at these are starting to get outdated. Oh god, there's so much we're gonna have to do. Oh, it looks like that actually just affected everything. I thought it would just affect the one ship, not my whole fleet. Well, good thing we're not at war right now. Hopefully that goes back up in time. When it went up, it certainly went down in time. So, for now, we keep going, we keep building. Italy is considering a naval rearmament program. How to react? We could complain at the next disarmament conference, lose prestige and tension. I'll take lose tension, even if it costs. I just paid for some prestige, you know? That's fine. New float plane scouts are ready. These are faster. Their range generally is all higher except the Berg. They all have more firepower, more toughness, or sorry, more maneuverability. They all have worse toughness. The Berg's less range comes with more toughness. We didn't really prioritize toughness, but it's fine. It's got less bomb load here, more bomb load here. You're exchanging range and maneuverability. Actually, no, it's just like heavy bomb, medium bomb loads are different. I think I'll take the MAG. It seems the most balanced. It has the best speed and maybe not the best range, but it has a little bit more maneuverability, a little bit heavier. Yeah, I'll go with that. I'll go with the MAG 79. That seems like a good one. So go ahead and implement that. Our armor development is progressing. Our new torpedo bomber is now ready for operational service. America is making some carriers. Japan is still commissioning these heavy cruisers. Yeah, we're at the point where heavy cruisers, I guess, are starting to become a thing. Our funds keep going up, despite our monthly balance being low. I don't really understand how or why that works, but I am so tempted very soon. Just put another battleship down, but I want to see this number go up a little bit first. Until then, I'm just going to keep going. A spy from Japan was discovered. We'll handle it quietly and discreetly. One of our agents was caught in Italy. Oh yeah, we do have agents there. Make him a national hero. Deny involvement. I'll take the tension and some potential prestige. It's fine. Weight savings. A new fighter's been developed as a private venture. Oh, it's only 1 year newer than mine. It goes faster. Its range is better in every way, but it has less firepower, less maneuverability, less toughness. Or no, same toughness. I'll keep the ones we have. The ones we have perform way better. And that should be fine. Money is still doing very interestingly, even with a negative monthly balance. Alliance between Italy and Russia has expired. Okay. Rebellion in Cuba. You should help France root out the rebels. We lose tension with them, but, I mean, well, they are our allies, so. Yeah, no, I'll gladly help you. We've researched improved 14-inch guns. Quality 1. Oh, that's hot. Still going with 16 inches because I've already decided on that, so it's fine. And funds just went down a teensy bit more for whatever reason. I don't know, it's fine. If Russia is not allied with our enemy, then we're just going to go ahead and do that. Oh, look at that. Our spy being caught made us have to build back up to our current intel level. That's interesting. Well, for now, just keep going along. We're almost to 1927. Time is just blazing by. We just got data of a French float plane scout. Doesn't tell me anything. A French battle cruiser. So they're making new 1924 battle cruisers. What in God's fucking name am I looking at? So they got 3 turrets on the front, and then they have a midships turret? France is really good at making the weirdest fucking designs. And in history, Italy made designs specifically to counter theirs. Well, Mussolini's Italy did anyway. 9 6-inch guns. Okay. 24 5-inch guns and 6 dual-purpose 3-inch guns. As I recall, 3-inch guns, dual-purpose, are not effective at anti-air until later. But 18 medium AA guns and 26 light AA guns. That's fucking insane. This is a battle cruiser? Look at the fucking armor on this thing. It goes 30 knots. 45. No wonder they managed to do this. This is 45,500 tons. I can't make anything this big. Yeah, I can't make anything to compete with this. It's just too big. We don't have the dock size for that. And the money it costs to expand dock size holds me back from just making other things. Everyone else is kind of reaching 49,051. They're not going too far past that too quickly, but at some point we need to definitely invest into our own dock sizes to try to catch up a little bit. Right now wouldn't be a terrible time, but I just really need these ships to finish. December 1926, one of our minor allies in the Balkans is threatened by a neighbor. What policy do you recommend? I don't want to lose prestige. Let's just call an international peace conference. Despite lengthy negotiations, no agreement at the Arms Control Conference. We only saw one of those really go anywhere, maybe two. There was one, I don't know. They all penalized me so much. Like, they wanted me to be as weak as Spain, and I don't really like that. Torpedoes are getting better and better. French rebels in Cuba have been eradicated. What a surprise. And we're progressing. Money's getting a little bit better, but emphasis on a little. We're still just waiting for this shit to catch up. We do have active force on someone. Let's put you in reserve, sir. We don't need you on active force right now. We're nowhere near having a war breakout. We just need to build. Our alliance with America expired. Very sad. Kaiser wants to have a gunnery competition. And it doesn't really tell me anything. Increase morale, combat readiness. It will substantially increase maintenance costs for a month. Yeah, fuck it. Just go ahead and do it. 1 month, I don't care. The Luden wins the Kaiser's Cup. Well, that's great for you. Oh my god, that was way more money than I thought it would be. Jesus Christ. Well, I hope that did something good. The Japanese government is offering to sell us the rights to armor development, decapping belt. Sure, I'll buy it. Improvement to armor quality, airship diesel engines, airship performance increases. That's good. Our new float plane scout is ready for service. I haven't been requesting any, so let's go ahead and request something new. I guess a new naval patrol aircraft. Naturally, range is important there. Usually I'd say speed, but at this point I think I'll go with like firepower or something, just because they seem to get into some kind of fight. I don't really know how they go after things though. I still might just go with speed, honestly. It's probably like a bomb thing. I don't really know what it is. Just like range and speed. You're a patrol aircraft, so just do that. I wish I had all that leftover money at this point, but unfortunately I don't. So let's halt one of the battleships for a turn while we go and recover that money and bump it over to the next turn. The new hawkish government wants to raise armament expenditures. I'll say sure to that. Budget up a little bit of tension. I won't say excellent because I'm not trying to stoke a war, but I also don't want to trade prestige given how low tensions are anyway. And that brings me into the next month where we can go ahead and resume construction on that battleship and have positive money with the increase to budget. Hopefully that does not affect our unrest. However, we do have a nice full episode at this point, so we're gonna have to pick this up in the next episode. Hope you guys are enjoying how this series is going. We are racing towards 1930 and getting a fraction of the battleships I need created. By the time these 5 get done, this battleship will already be considered, old at this point. So I guess we'll see how this goes. But for now, thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.